New York, new rock, live music and promotion.
I'm Joseph Pla, formerly of Sweet Convulsions, and we have a very special show in memory of Jack Pavlik. In honor of Jack, we have some very special friends and business associates which would like to share their feelings with us.
No, I don't think it's necessary.
Can I hold it right up to the camera?
That camera.
See, there's where you get the phrase "sweet convulsions" in it.
Are you still able to buy that, or do you just refill it? Is that a new thing on the market, or?
This is Mrs. Barpo.
He was very strong-willed in his own mind. He could sell snow to an Eskimo. He was just that way. He was a very charming person, and I found that very attractive about him. I felt that he was something that it was something that he. It was almost like an influence. I really enjoyed his character. He was a wonderful person. He was very good to me and the people around him. I don't think he ever hurt anybody, except for when he threw that guy through the window, which was pretty funny. He did what he did because he felt he had to do it.
I'm Joseph from Errata Mechanics, formerly Sweet Convulsions. I was one of the partners from Sweet Convulsions. Jack was the lead vocalist, and We have been working together since 1990. Originally, it was going to be a side project, and as time went along, we were more heavily involved into it, and it became our full-time project. Jack was the type of person that he would actually draw the energy towards him on stage. He was a very strong focal point. And so we had the best, I believe we had the best of both worlds, in the sense that we provided musical entertainment, and we also provided a lot of visual entertainment as well.
Just another night at the Metropolitan Opera. Joining us now are members of the post-punk industrial band Sweet Convulsions. Welcome lead vocalist Jack Pavlik and industrial maestro Joe Pla. Good to have you here, guys.
I never imagined myself being on a stage, you know, Limelight and different other clubs we played at, performing as a transvestite, prostitute, call girl, whatever. It was very different. It was very, you know, I saw another part of him, which I never knew existed. There were so many parts of him. But when they all melted together, it was just like very intense. On stage with him, you know, going down on, you know, the lead singer of Sweet Convulsions was like, you know, such a head trip for me. But he always will be inside of me. There hasn't been, you know, a week go by that I don't think of him. See something in my house that reminds me of him and stuff, you know, the pictures and everything. This is like memories that will never go away, which always will be a gift, I guess, that I had met him, and he has been such a positive inspiration in my life from the beginning to the end. Thanks.
Jack was openly gay. He didn't flaunt it, but he was proud of it, and he made a statement, this is what I am, this is how I am, and that's it. So he didn't overdo it, he didn't hide it, he just was himself. That's another thing that Jack was really into, confronting the censorship issue that happens all the time, as far as speaking what you have to say, talking about issues, and also confronting situations and individuals that always want to hide things, either through fear or through their own lack of comprehension of the matter.
I first met Jack when I was a DJ at my college radio station, WMSC, and I interviewed him for a show of mine. He was in a band called Brain Injured Children.
You know, a lot of people put a lot of thought into what happens to you after you die, but nobody ever thinks about what happened to you before you were born.
Sometimes it makes no sense at all. Bang your head against the wall. Run this circle's got no effect. Last the party, how long will it last? We got a high IQ. Doesn't matter, we just do, we do. We got a high IQ. Doesn't matter, we just do, we do.
one night, we were just fooling around, messing around in the club, and I was dancing around. He says, "Hey, you want to join my band, Sweet Convulsions?" I said, "Oh, get out of here." And he says, "Really, really, come and dance for one show." And I said, "All right, just one show?" "Yeah, sure, what the heck." And well, one show turned into another and another and another, and it was just this bizarre twist of events. I did things I never dreamed I would be doing. He was just an incredible person. And we became like brother and sister. And the whole band became just one big family. It was, no one could understand unless they were there. And Jack was always getting into trouble with his wild escapades, wild stories, and brilliant ideas. But we never thought that it would end, ever. We always thought he would just keep getting into trouble. He was like indestructible. Especially when you saw him on stage, there was just so much power and energy and life that, who would think? And then one day, you know, when I got the call that Jack had died, it was like someone just smashed me over the head. I couldn't believe it. And, you know, I mean, he opened up so many worlds for me. It was as if things in me had died too. Opportunities, everything. He just touched so many lives. And there isn't a day that passes that I don't think of him. There's something that I pick up that I have a funny, it's always a funny story, because he was just such a wonderful, good person.
Okay, we have a band here, brain-injured children. What have you got there? Who's that?
This is Ignatz, Floyd.
Ignatz?
He's a big fan of yours, yeah, from the late 80s. Yeah.
I was afraid of that.
Well, he likes you a lot, and he really wants to get your autograph. Yeah.
I was recruited into the band very similarly to the way Delia was. I was dancing in a club, Charlie's West in East Orange, which no longer exists. A friend of mine happened to be the DJ there on Thursday nights, which is the night that Jack was promoting, but I didn't know he was the promoter that night. But I was dancing and kind of venting because I really hadn't been out for a while, and Jack caught sight of me and he started dancing with me, and we just were causing general chaos on the dance floor, and people were all kind of looking at us like, where did these two come from? And when it was all over, Jack looked at me and said, "You know, I'm looking for dancers for my band. Would you like to dance for my band?" And I can't say that's a question that I get every day, so I thought about it for a second, and I said, why not? Okay, this is something different. I'm willing to try almost anything once. So, so a few weeks later, I performed that night, not knowing what I was going to be doing. Jack wasn't very clear on that. It was just the whole energy thing. Jack wanted to be impulsive and just go with the flow. So I experienced exploding mannequins and gyrating against a drag queen and just things I never thought that I would witness either as a participant or as an observer, but I definitely have to say it was a unique experience, and it carried over into performing with the band for several years. Jack was and is unlike anybody that I've ever met. He was a person full of incredible energy. I mean, he walked into a room and you wouldn't have to see him enter the room, but you would feel him. You would feel him entering a room because he just had so much energy exuding from him. And as Delia was mentioning before, Jack had a tendency to get himself into trouble quite a bit, but he never really had to suffer the consequences too much because he just had these very radiant, just amazingly soulful blue eyes, and he would look at you with those eyes when you'd be in the middle of yelling at him. You would just get frustrated and shake your head and go, "Damn it, Jack, okay, whatever you want," because he just had that capability. I mean, considering all the things he'd been through in his life, considering his struggles with drug addiction and losing both of his parents, he still had a very youthful, boyish quality about him, and I always think of him as being forever young because he really was.
We did a performance at the Vault, and this was another direction we were going on. we were more exploring the erotic aspect.
I spent so many nights thinking I did it wrong and I was strong. Then I learned how to get along and so you're back from outer space. Just walked in to find it here. That dead look upon your face. I should have changed that stupid lock. Should have made you leave your key. If I'd have known for just 1 second you'd be back to bother me. Alright, now go. Walk out the door. Just turn around now. You're not welcome anymore. But you ones that tried to break there with goodbye. Think I'd gone wrong. You think I'd lay down and die. Oh no, not I will survive. Oh, and I know I'm gonna lost their lives. I've got all my life to live. I've got all my love to give. I will survive. I will survive.
Another thing Jack was well noted for was his dedication towards charitable events such as AIDS benefits. Also, he was very much involved in the gay pride issues, and we performed many gigs and banquets to raise money in helping to find a cure for the AIDS virus.
I remember meeting him that night and just looking into his eyes and just, I guess, kind of melting, and just had a feeling that, wow, this guy's like, seems really smart and interesting. And he took me around the club and showed me around, and from that point on, we had a really good relationship, and it turned out that he was actually my first boyfriend that I ever had.
Became friends when he moved to Hoboken, because I was working, well, I'm still working for a magazine, and I was selling advertising space in Hoboken, New Jersey. So I would kind of make a home base at Jack's place, and we'd sit and we'd talk and smoke pot and just go out for dinner and stuff occasionally, and just walk around Hoboken and, you know, get to know the local bag ladies and stuff. It was really a trip. We would go out, and it's a really sad story, because he pointed out this one lady, he had leftovers from his dinner, and we ate at Chellaluna, and he gave her the leftovers. He's like, oh yeah, that's, you know, Marie or whatever, she's the bag lady around town. And I saw her the time I was in Hoboken after I knew that Jack had died. I went down there, and there was Marie sitting on a stoop just grubbing for change and for food. And I thought, holy shit, Jack isn't here. It just hit me like a ton of bricks, just right in my face. It was right, knocked me right over.
Blue Eyes, what I like about that video is that the video strongly ties with the lyrics, because the lyric talks about the drag queen hooker that gets killed and abused by these thugs possibly from New Jersey. And anyway, but what's successful about that video is that the video actually helps the words. It brings the words alive, because you not only you hear the words of, you know, about Blue Eyes, and not only you know about Blue Eyes, but you actually see Blue Eyes. You see Blue Eyes in action.
You know, what's the expression? You know, necessity is the mother of invention. I'm not sure how that applies here, but I think what I'm trying to say is, I needed someone to work with, and he needed someone to work with, and it was sort of a good collaboration, and we became good friends, and he was a good friend, and I was, you know, friends. We basically, you know, we ended up working together on a number of other projects. He later formed this band, Sweet Convulsions, with Joe, and I worked with those guys. We ended up, we did a music video, another music video for this song called Blue Eyes, which is about a transvestite prostitute who gets killed, basically. And it's a pretty powerful piece. I think that piece, I put a lot into it. I put a lot of my heart into it, and you know, we shot it on film, and we sort of, it was an important, I feel it was an important step for me, filmmaking and editing wise. I mean.
Not only I lost Jack as a friend and a musical partner, but it seems that I lost like part of my soul has been taken away from me, and also not only part of my soul but also part of my life. I would like to thank New York New Rock for allowing me to put together this tribute for Jack Pavlik.
Jack was a great inspiration to me and a lot of people in the music industry, especially in the alternative community. I had the pleasure to work with him on several occasions at the Limelight and Palladium. I was booking artists at the time, and he was a great entertainer, performer. And we were always looking forward to what he's up to next, because you would never know what he's gonna do next. And he would take a homeless person from the street to make an announcement of the band, or you never knew what was gonna happen next. So he was a great inspiration, and we miss him dearly.
When I was talking about Chester before, about the Exploding Mannequins, this is Chester. This was the primary source of a lot of our show problems with managers, because Jack liked to blow Chester up every so often. He thought he just needed to, but as you can see the look on Chester's face, it wasn't anything that affected him in a negative way. So he just did it and kept that smile on his face. But we did a show at the Palladium. It was one of the first shows I did with the band, actually, and Chester was getting, Jack was getting Chester ready to blow up. As you can see, we have some remnants of another show of explosives, kind of to see, you know, how this was done, among other parts of his body as well. But Jack had he lit Chester up at the end of the show and you know, he started going off, and Chester, that is, well, Jack in his own little way too, but Chester blew up, and the shirt he was wearing wouldn't quite go out, so it kept burning, and Jack was trying to put it out. He finally threw like the burning piece of shirt out into the audience, and so they were trying to put it out, and of course it smelled god-awful. So it was a successful show, and we all went backstage, and we were all very hyped up, you know, very high energy. And then out of nowhere, the manager comes running backstage, and he said, "Who told you you could do that? Who told you you could blow that thing up on stage? Who told you blah, blah, blah?" And Jack said, well, they said that we could. And he got that real innocent look on his face, and the eyes just got totally like, oh, I didn't know. He's like, oh, they said it was okay. And the manager just kind of looked at all of us and looked at him and just went, "Damn it," and just kind of walked away. And then after he left, we all just started giggling among ourselves because we were like, ah, ha, ha, you know, we did it. We got him blown up. So that was definitely one of the good performance memories. But we just needed to show you Chester as just kind of as a visual aid.
Very important member of Sweet Convulsions.
Yes, as you can see, Chester has undergone quite a bit of damage. But these are remnants from past shows. I can't tell you which ones because there were so many that he got blown up as. But he's still, you know, he's a little cracked, but he's still pretty enduring. So,
kind of like us.
Yeah, kind of like us, pretty much.